Yeah! Hello and welcome to this live 1v1. Of course, when you're watching it as a video, it's not live, but this is the new map. This is the new patch. The new map, it's called something like Kreide or something. I've already forgotten the name. Uh, let me try and find it here. Name. I'll have to start again. Don't want my viewer retention going down. Kreide, yeah. Hello and welcome to this new map. It's called Kreide. We've got a very high level 1v1 for you today. Played between Lathans, who now calls himself Cripple. He's played his first UK, and he's going up against Tortique, playing 79Y. This is the new map. I think it's built mainly for like 2v2 or 3v3, but they've done a 1v1 cut of it to start with, which is great. Will it be added into ranked? I don't know. But yeah, you see a lot of terrain changes on this map. So there are like 3 steps. So there's this step, this step, this step. There are 4, 5 actually. 5, wow. So that's really cool. You see that some of the cliffs are passable. If it's green, you can walk down it. So I think you can walk down this, but you can't walk up this or drive up it, I think. I mean, you definitely wouldn't be able to drive up it, but I think you can't walk up it either. But you see where it's green, you can get up, and where it's uh, where it's grey or yellow or beige or whatever, you can't. So, really cool map. If you look at the zones, I mean, I don't know if this is subject to change, if they'll change it further, but you see that there's actually 3 roughly middle zones for congestion, which is really cool. I mean, if you look at something like Urban Front Lines, there's really only, I mean, there are supposedly 3 middle zones, I suppose. But if you look at something like Vertigo, there are 2 middle zones, and yeah, like it is really cool. It's really cool to see. You know, you got the water over here. Water's cool, yeah. Uh, we'll have to see how it plays, right? I mean, it does look very nice. I mean, you've got some sort of logging camp over here. The different zones give different attributes. So, you know, Charlie is a bit more urban and built up. Golf is a bit more forested, so your RPOs, your flamethrowers are going to be more useful in here. And Bravo seems to be a bit more open. In that, you know, you've got open ground here, and it's really cool in that because of these cliffs, you know, you could be fighting from here to here, and then whoever takes this ridge can pop over the side and start helping out with close range AT even. And I think the terrain changes are a really good way to break up the map. So, you know, it is live. They're still deploying. Looking at the deployments, we got a Ferret Mark II here. It's also worth noting that there are a bunch of vision changes in this patch. This is still an ongoing process, so it'll take us a while to figure out what works, what doesn't work. It'll take Eugen a while to figure out what works, what doesn't work. And basically, the stealth of buildings has gone down from a 3.5 times multiplier to a 3 times multiplier, but the stealth of forests has actually gone up from a 2.5 times multiplier to a 3 times multiplier. But all optics, all recon optics have got better. So something like this with mediocre optics, that's unchanged. That's the same as usual. But so I'm not sure if this tooltip is even correct anymore. But now good optics and very good optics are better. So I believe good optics are a 1.5 times multiplier now instead of 1.2. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, good optics, very good optics have gotten better, and I think exceptional optics have gotten better too. Also, certain most small arms, excluding DMRs, have had their noise level increased. So you'll have less situations where there's a bunch of guys shooting from a building and you just can't see them. You might still have those situations, simply because the noise on sniper rifles has remained at has actually gone down from, I think, 2.5. No, I think from 2 to 1.5. But these are all just numbers. We need to play loads of games to see what works and what doesn't work. This is an ongoing process. So, you know, I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on this and let me know what you think. Let Eugen know what you think, you know. I don't make the decisions, they do. And yeah, I think the map's very cool. I like the fact that you've got these ridge lines and stuff. This one is a little bit less defined, but you can still it's still very visually obvious from both sides that there is a hill here because of the weird kind of look to it. So yeah, looking at the deployments, we got a ferret and a scimitar. Ferret's perhaps useful now? Question mark. That's what we're here to find out. I mean, very good optics might be more useful. Terrier Para's Carl Gustav going for Bravo. Forward deployed there. Rover Milan going to Charlie. These are trees of cover. Oh, here we go. So we're off, and it's time to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joiner in the channel. You make it all possible. Thank you. Oh, they've both started off fire. MiG-29 should lose to Tornado in terms of price, but in terms of performance, the MiG-29 is, in my opinion, better. Yeah, as you can see, the MiG-29 won there despite being a much cheaper plane. I think the Tornado is kind of overpriced. So you see this actually has fire and forget missiles. The AA-3 and its close-range missiles have much, much higher suppression than NATO close-range missiles for like basically no good reason. So one hit from those close ranges, you get routed, which makes the packed aircraft generally better. Because AIMs have like 300 suppression, and yeah, the packed AIM equivalent has 500, which will rout you in one hit, which is actually what we saw there. Got hit once and routed. So the Rover Milan is running away now. And the Spetsnaz group take the building, but you see, so Lathans has got Bravo and Golf by the look of it. Although that's still up for contention, whereas Tortique has got Charlie. The T-80 BVs, of course, much more powerful than anything the first UK has to offer. Of course, in gameplay terms, in real life, the Challenger 1 Mark III has just like never took a loss to enemy action, basically. The only thing that happened was like one friendly fire event. But, French game. So, Tortique takes this, and he's coming for this now, and this just doesn't have anybody here. So, it's not looking great for Lathans. I'm not sure if he could see that or not when it fired, as we spoke about. Forest optics have got better, but recon power is... Sorry, forest defense has got better, but recon power has got better. And you see how the tank's coming over here, so it can see over the ridge line. Very cool usage there. And yeah, it's not looking great for Lathans at all. I mean, he's going to get this zone, but in the meantime, he's probably going to lose Bravo. I mean, he's trying to get a CV over there, but this is not actually... I mean, if he drove it a little bit forwards, it'd be in a position to intercept people coming down this road, particularly with its ATGM. Depending on... I mean, it's kind of hard because it keeps snapping to it. I can't easily see. But yeah, this is the edge of the forest, and he would be able to see down here if he was on it, and he'd potentially be able to shoot ATGMs because it's got the Agona. Javelin's coming in. Gvozdika purchase. So this is another change in this patch, which is that I believe artillery splash radii has increased. I'm not entirely sure how much, but their suppression values have also increased on the tube artillery. Incidentally, MLRS has been nerfed in that I don't know if the suppression values have gone up. They might have done, but the number you get per card has come down, and every MLRS div, so like 79Y, for example, only had one card of grads at 2. They now get 2 cards of grads. So Chieftain Mark 9 coming in here, but I mean, Javelin misses the MI8. You can clearly see it, and the Scimitar's being brought forwards to shoot the Motor Strelky, but you see how he's only brought it so forwards in the forest so that this can't help. Hellarm goes down there to the extremely more powerful MiG-29, as we spoke about. Oh, almost gets it there. I mean, it's just strange that, this costs 250. It's really not worth it. Or they need to make the Skyflash Super Temp go further, basically. So yeah, you see how he's brought it forwards to there so it can shoot here, but this would have to get a lot closer to fire, which he's not doing because he's probably worried about infantry AT, and there is some here. So if Tortique came closer to the Scimitar, the Carl Gustav might be able to get him. But yeah, this is a very tricky position for Lathans. He's now bringing up some Warrior Milans in gun groups, but you see how he's bringing them down here as opposed to up here. I'm not actually sure why. I'm also not sure why Tortique doesn't have... might be because of this, but if you just put that BMP2, which currently can't see much of anything, here, then it would be able to shoot all these reinforcements coming in. You know, even if it, well, it depends how close it gets, right? If you get to here, you'd definitely be able to shoot them. But then you got to watch out for the Chieftain Mark 9s, right? They might counterfire you. So a lot of positioning going on here. But yeah, I thought Lathans would lose this, but actually he's kept it. And over here he's got a clear advantage. So it's actually +1 for Lathans. Gvozdika, I'm not so sure about, to tell you the truth, but I guess it's more of like a testing thing. These have been changed. I believe their splash radius is bigger. I know their suppression values have increased, but their splash values are better. And yeah, if you could get you know, something over to, because obviously so he can see things coming in, right? But if he could get a Milan over to here, he could shoot them as they come in, this being a red spawn. So the red spawn seems to be closer to Bravo, and the blue spawn seems to be closer to Golf. So I think blue has preferential access in Golf, and red has preferential access in Bravo, and it's about the same for mid. So Challenger Mark II is beginning to roll off the line now. I believe this patch they got an availability increase, so that they now have the same availability as like an M1A1. I'm not entirely sure, I might just be making that up. So that's good news for Challenger Bros, because this unit has been suffering for a long time. I mean, we can talk about why, the whole balance by division concept and everything, but that's you know, that's in the past now. I think things will generally just cost what they're worth, and balance will be achieved by other means. That's my assumption anyway. I mean, I'm not in charge. So here we go, Rover Milan to here, but this T80BV can really start cleaning all this up if it had a chance. But yeah, do you see how he's put them behind the trees? So that when these come this way, then he can shoot them. The thing is, okay, so I was going to say, will he know this has happened? But yes, he will. So now we'll have to move these over. T80BV coming out. Challenger Mark II needs to get in here, but the hills are really messing it up. The recon goes down, though at this point in the battle, it probably doesn't really matter too much. Gvozdika's firing smoke. T80BV forced to smoke. Of course, ATGM suppression value is still very high. I don't think those have changed at all, really. And yeah, this BMP2D probably, yeah, I mean, those ranges not going to work out. Lathans gets a CV in here. That is very risky. I mean, all Tortique has to do is put this over here and he'll shoot it. And there you go. Challenger Mark II engaged. T80BV goes back into the smoke. This is the Wargame Red Dragon Classic. Do you notice how he's brought it at 2 vet so that it can keep the smoke up? I believe if it was at 1 vet, or if it was back here, it wouldn't actually be able to keep the smoke up. I believe one thing would fade before the other one fires. But, yeah, I don't know. I prefer mortars for it, but you don't get self-propelled mortars as packed, except the Vasilek, which doesn't fire smoke, which is a shame because I believe in real life it could. It's just it wouldn't fit in the auto loader, so they would have to add a separate weapon to it. And there you go, the Rover CV is going back now. He recognises that it's not really a sustainable position. But if he'd brought a mortar for smoke, he could have stuck in there for quite a while actually, but he didn't do that, right? He could have smoked this and sat back here. Like, to be honest, he could just do that anyway. I don't think he's realised that, because he was here before, he was just sort of exposed himself. But if you go here, or here, they can't actually see you, and you're still in the zone. They'll know where you are, but yeah, I don't know, I suppose the Gvozdika could then be used to shoot it. It's not an armoured CV. But yeah, if Lathans could get some recon up to here, then he could start poking this with the Challenger and, you know, try and shoot somebody and get back, shoot somebody and get back. It's a big micro requirement, but it can work. Most of the... please ignore that. I'm, of course, spending 100% of my time focusing on the game. Focusing on the game here. Definitely not... Get my smithing level up. So, MiG-29 goes up against Tornadoes again, and this is getting a bit silly now. I mean, it's supposed to be a much cheaper plane, but it's better. And there you go. So, the Seed missed the Cub. The Cub, ooh, missed the Seed, though. And the Cub hit the cluster, but the cluster hit the stuff and didn't do anything. So, that was a big investment in planes from Lathans. That was like 760 points. 770... It's like 775 points worth of units there. I can't remember how much the Tornado cluster costs, if it's 265 or 275. But basically, that was a big investment in planes from Lathans, and instead of buying... Obviously, he already had the Tornado ASF, mean, instead of buying that seed and that cluster, if he just bought 2 Challenger Mark 3s, would he be in a better position? And that's the thing you've always got to consider. Having said that, you know, he's on the +1. Red has to push into him. He has moved up a little bit here, but not a lot. And do you see how he's using... Because basically in Forest, you can only see 350 meters, right? So do you see how he's not just sat on the edge of the forest where he'd get spotted? He's sat like here. So if something comes down this road, he'd just about be able to shoot it as it comes in AT range. And this is something Lathans is very good at, using the forest as an LOS blocker, so that you can set up ambushes that way. Because now that recon is slightly better, although forest cover has increased, so I'm not quite sure how that interaction works. I mean, it's live, so we can just check, right? What does... So Lathans can't actually see these units. And Tortique can see these. I mean, these are in the open. But he can't see any of these, right? But a lot of that is to do with Lathans blocking the... Well, I don't know, I mean that... Oh, it's just out of LOS, yeah. There we go, seeds back up. I don't know if he's bought another one, actually, but yeah, I mean, you expect Tortique to be quite good at switching off his AA. This just missed twice, though. And you're not going to be seeing that for about 6 minutes. So that's another minute's income, I believe. Like, this airtab is a lie. He obviously still has the cluster and stuff. It's just the way it updates is wrong when you're spectating. But yeah, I believe he's got both seeds out now, because the last one got damaged as well, and we saw that again, so who knows, maybe, maybe not. So let's see how the new Gvozdika compares. Will it damage this Milan, despite it being outside the little circle? So there you go, the suppression radius has definitely increased a little bit, because before that literally wouldn't have done anything. Whether or not it's enough, we'll see. Incremental changes over sort of just radically changing the meta every time. It's not good for you guys to just constantly have to relearn the game, the whole game. And it leads to interesting situations, so yeah, you definitely saw that there though. I mean, that got a bit suppressed. Whether or not it's enough remains to be seen. Sadly, high cohesion is still yellow, which is not very sensible. Should be blue, really. Yellow tends to mean warning in most cultures. I know it might be different in Feng Shui or something, but I would have thought YouTube would aspire, or would you know, be more of the Western ideal where, you know, green means go sort of thing. So MI8T here, can it see this? No. So there you go, exceptional optics, can't see a guy in a bush 1,000 meters away. So I think that forest cover is still too powerful. I mean, this is very silly. That is an exceptional optics device, and it can't see this guy right here. It's definitely in line of sight here. Let's get some screenshots of that to share with the folks back home. Just getting some screenshots here while we wait for things to happen. Yeah, they're still building up while I get my screenshots. I know, obviously, not very riveting for you, but you can always skip ahead a minute or so if you don't like watching it. So yeah, I need to just get this properly, right? So neutral view. Oh, he's moved now. That's a pain. No, he should still be in vision. Oh, whatever. The original set is probably the best I'm getting. So, so yeah, more positional warfare. I mean, Tortique, he's got time. This is only a +1 tick. He's got time. And he's now buying a bunch of grenade launcher vehicles. But yeah, I mean, this should be in LOS, and he can't see it. I mean, I don't know, that's like a fringe case, it might not actually be. But it definitely was before, and he just couldn't see it. So, I think that's bad. Over here, literally nothing's happening. Okay, Lathan's going to try and attack now. I mean, I think he's... I don't know if he can even see this, like... Okay, he can actually. But he's put it on return fire. He's got to be careful with the... Okay, yeah, they can engage from over here. So that's now been spotted, and this guy is like way far back, so... To be honest, if this came up to here, it could probably beat the double Scorpion. I don't know. It depends if the Conquers hits. This guy's still on return fire. He should be shooting, really. I mean... You know, he knows there's enemies here. Guess he doesn't want to reveal his hand. But yeah, it's crazy how this is right here and it can't see any of that. I mean, it's just silly. It's just silly. You should definitely be able to see some of these units. Like specifically that, well, I don't know actually, the LOS tool is saying that it might not actually be able to see it. So, Paris Carl Gustav, forced to fall back there. You see how he's still in AT range. He's trying to cut down the LOS, so he's just in AT range there. So as soon as these come forwards, they'll get shot, which is sort of the idea. And oh, it missed its first shot, but this is probably going to get stunned because you see how it just target switched a bunch of times. So there you go. So he's forced to sort of rush it, and then he'll probably lose all three of these. It's just not going to work. I don't know. I'm surprised he's not bought an Acacia to hit these positions, like the Gvozdika for smoke. Okay, but I mean, really, you're just sort of letting. Right. So can that see that? No, it can't. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I think it's still work in progress. I think there are still things that need to be done, but I don't agree with raising this from 2.5 to 3. I think that was a big mistake. Oh, I finished smithing my rune scimitars. So cluster comes out with the seed behind it. Still gets hit by the Tunguskas and the Iglas. Might go down. Does go down. So this is the problem with doing the air spam thing. I just don't think it's worth it, really. I mean, the AA is so much cheaper and more available. You can get 2 of these for less than the price of 1 of these. And I think he would have been much better off just having 3 extra Challenger Mark 3s here to fight these T80 BVs. Because as it stands, he can't really fight this with what he's got here. I mean, of course, with Tortique's composition, he'll have a tough time getting into the deep forest because this is all vehicles. And the gun groups do have light AT. But, yeah, this became possible once Tortique got this, because then he can sort of see across here. And, yeah, this has just been a small push. I mean, he's clearly not going for this, but he might. I don't know if these reinforcements have just arrived. But, yeah, it looks like Lathans is going more for this part. I mean, where's the smoke mortar? He's got an M109, which he's not used. Like, this is just sat in some smoke. If he'd had if he should still really have a CV in here, but yeah, so can he see these guys in these buildings? Probably not, right? This isn't stood still, so it's only very good optics. But yeah, this isn't particularly intelligent, and like I don't think he can see this either, despite the fact that it's okay, he can see it now, so he can see that now. Oh wait, no, hang on. I mean, that's on the wrong one. But yeah, so he still can't see the infantry in the buildings despite having the recon here. There you go. So he only spots it when it gets to there, and even then he still can't see it. So I think there's still some work to be done. But as we spoke about, incremental change, and yeah, just refusing to smoke. Refusing to smoke here. And these T80 BVs can roll around here quite quickly now. Now he's basically stuck here. Does get an SU-25 rocket, but yeah, the fact that he couldn't see these guys is kind of weird. He's got the recon here. This has still got rockets, only 8, but the gun is decent as well, and this thing doesn't have too much HP. So yeah, that was not a great attack. I think he would have been better off just sort of staying in it. And then all he had to do here was just 1 smoke mortar and just smoke this and come up here, right? You put it there, and then you smoke in front of it. If you put it in this corner without smoke, they'll know about it. But yeah, I think his attack there was a bit overambitious. Another thing he could do, you saw how he had 2 units here, you know, if he had some bit more AA here, might have got some more of those SU-25s, but here we go. So the Challenger, oh, he gets a bit sloppy with his tank micro there, loses a T80 BV. I don't know, Chieftain Mark 9s are a bit too expensive for the price, in my opinion. It's showing side armor, it's dead, it's dead. I mean, ooh, yeah, it's stunned and now it's dead. Tornado HEs, yeah, still going with the, so you see he lost his Chieftain Mark 9, lost his other Chieftain Mark 9. I don't agree with this air spam versus UK at all. I've had a lot of conversations with him about this. I just don't think it's worth it. If you just buy the tanks instead, you tend to do better, particularly against a division with like Cubs or something. It's just not going to work. Every one of those planes could have been an extra Challenger Mark 3 plus a supply vehicle, something like that. Whereas now he's in a spot of bother. Red's ticking up, but I mean, if he just contests this, then that tick will stop. And yeah, I think his strategy here Obviously, I have the benefit of not having to play the game, right? I can just sort of sit here. But you can also get a recon in here to get the corrected fire on this. This is uncorrected fire, so we'll now see how well the 155mm do with the suppression increases. I believe the main increase was to the radius, but I'm not sure how much it was. But you see how that damaged that a little bit, even though it landed there? I mean, it sounds silly, but before this change, that wouldn't have done anything. This is actually not in the zone. You see, it's still doing suppression damage. So yeah, the radius increase I'm a big fan of. Make tube artillery a bit better, because right now tube artillery doesn't. It's basically like a sniper rifle in the current live build, but not in this. Which, I mean, by the time you're seeing this, it probably is the current live build, covered by the embargo and stuff. But they told me I could make videos on this patch, just not release them until they said so. If you're wondering how that process works. Right, so I mean, British infantry is basically better than 79Y infantry. Although 79Y gets the saperi and stuff, which we've not seen a lot of. I'll be honest, but neither side is really abusing smoke much. If they, you know, if blue was smoking, this wouldn't be shooting. Oh, you see that smoke there actually has made it so that this can shoot the gun groups, but the Challenger can't shoot the BMP2s. So this is about to become useless. Needs to smoke it right now, yeah, because the SU's coming in. Might fire its rockets. I mean, the forest sort of messes up rockets a bit. And okay, okay. Okay, so it goes down there. I was going to say it's very surprising that that survived anything. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a friendly game, so they don't want to abuse too much. But I think they're both abusing quite a bit already. So I would just abuse a bit more and just smoke this and put a CV here. I think that would be completely fine. I mean, red seems to get preferential access to this zone anyway because the houses are all on this side. So the fact that blue gets the dip, I think, is a reasonable compromise. Gets this forest here, like, as well. So this is going to die now. I mean, as you can see, let's go for the rapier first. He's not really reacting. Okay, he is now. So, you know, he probably should have targeted this first. Oh, okay, I'm not sure that... So this is quite fast off-road, so in doing that, it might expose it, but this is actually not in the right place. I mean, if it was here, then it would have shot that, but, you know, you don't know what you don't know. So 2 M109s now, and I'm not sure about this at all. I think Lathans just bought too many planes. I see this a lot when he plays first UK. He's like, oh, air spam div. The planes, they're high altitude. Pack tanks are really fast, even on the reverse for some reason. Warno, of course, a game made in Vladivostok. And so he bought all these planes, and his enemy, instead of buying those planes, although he did have a lot of Su-25 rockets, generally, like, one of these is a plane, right? So he's just been buying tanks instead of planes, and the tanks are paying for themselves much better than the planes are, because you can get 2 Cubs for the price of one, for less than the price of one plane. You can get 2 Cubs in a supply for less than the price of one plane, so yeah, you're just seeing a significant lack of ground units here. There's too many planes. So I do think the artillery radius is still a bit small. I mean, I think these should be dealing suppression to these units, really. I mean, you might think it's silly, but if that landed next to me, I'd be pretty upset. The game, of course, says it's 100 meters, but that's just the weird scaling in this game. I'm not sure why they went for that approach. So, like, this is not 100 meters. You know, 3 trees are not 100 meters apart. That's just silly. So basically, it's got its internal scaling, and then it applies times 2.83 to all values. Might be 2.63, can't remember. This is probably going to die. Yeah. So Warrior Pleats here. He's got the recon, but I don't think he can see. So yeah, they can't see each other, despite this being exceptional optics, right? And this being, oh, I guess that's not in range, but this is very good. This is exceptional optics. He still can't see it. I don't know. It's up to you whether or not you think it's good. The thing is, if you make recon too powerful, then all of a sudden infantry divs become just useless because they can't hide. And especially given how open a lot of the maps are. After those deforestation changes, it's very difficult to do anything. So, looks like Lathan's next plan is to come over here. But this is being reinforced now. I mean, he sent these helis over, and that has sort of alerted Tortique to the threat also he's got this zone, he's got this zone. You've got to think to yourself, well, what's going to happen here? My position here is not very strong. So, yeah. I wouldn't, if I was Lathans, I wouldn't have bought the planes. I might have lost anyway. My micro's not very good, but the fact that he bought the planes was not ideal. And I would have had a smoke mortar out. FE432 smoke mortar, very, very effective. You see how much value Tortique got out of his Vos Deco. Yeah, you just smoke up here, and then you put the CV down here, and so they think it's back here, even though it's here, and so their ulti doesn't kill it. But yeah, here we go. I mean, Lathans might have a localized false advantage here, but actually I don't think he does. To be honest, I mean, 79Y gets the better late game out of these two divisions anyway, so you would expect something like this to happen anyway. But yeah, the Warrior Applique's basically a BMP2 equivalent. It's a Milan 2 Raden. Well, the BMP2 is actually better because it's got less side armor, but it's got Conkers instead of Milan 2, which is better. The autocannons, I believe, are the same. So this guy's very dead. And let's see who can see what. So I'm on the wrong guy here. So yeah, he can see this tank. I mean, which he would have been able to see anyway before the changes, because regular recon power hasn't actually changed. So here we go. He's attacking. I mean, tornadoes coming out, but they have to turn because they know the Cubs are back here. And you see that one of them gets hit, one of them gets suppressed. This thing has a very good gun on it. The twin Jush. I'm not sure how it's twin, but so that was that second tornado. Might get hit now. Survives, but is suppressed to death. Seed was a bit mismicroed. Like, this could have come in as this was coming round, but I mean, it's very, very difficult to get those turns right. Challengers getting crits. You hate to see it. It's every time though. And yeah, it's very, very difficult to take a point like this without smoke cover. Like, where's the smoke? He's going for the Cubs actually with the howitzers. Bailed out crits. We got an engine incendiary and then bailed out. So you see he's trying to get the Bedford up here, but he's going to get shot. And yeah, he's using the Warrior Appliques to draw the fire. The units. Yeah, wow, okay. I mean, that was 6 Milan 2s, so not particularly surprising. The thing is, this is out of range of these, so they need to move forwards a bit, otherwise you might lose a lot of them here. Certainly going to lose all that infantry. This thing is very, very powerful. If I was him, I'd be chucking that seaplane at it. Although, well, has this not got its Ligmas? So, Howitzer's aiming there, but there's nobody there anymore. I guess he didn't know that he killed him. Arm rifles against Motostrelki. Arm rifles by themselves would win, but the Motostrelki is actually cheaper. And the javelins, yeah, so the javelins are getting caught out by the BMP2s now. Ferret scout cars, I don't know, it's a bit of a meme, isn't it? Cub went down. I think the seed was hit though. These Warrior Appliques could be moved up to here, but the main problem is, so he needs to move up this Rapier. If he got this Rapier to here, he'd be able to shoot that. But yeah, he's having a serious problem here, and his lack of smoke means that this is probably about to die. I mean, it's from Rover CV there. Yeah, I'm surprised it survived as long as it did. So yeah, just attacking without smoke, I don't think is very intelligent. Oh, I see why he left these here now, because now oh no! That was a big kill. But yeah, he's got a seed plane. He could. Oh, I guess he's just ran out of Kokons. That's one way of doing it. I suppose that's why the ferrets were there, just to soak shots. He does have a CV back here. Okay, so he's coming in with the clusters now, and he's trying to hit where those Cubs were, but they moved, so I don't think he's going to get any of them. Not sure. Is he trying to target the tank? I mean, that's. You see the bombs drop in lines, so okay, and then he brings the seed in, but he loses the cluster. I just don't think this strategy is worth it. The Challenger got unbailed out, it got bailed in. But you see how this is shooting that and it can't see it? Yeah, you can't see it. I think they should lower the forest cover back to 2.5. Anyway, this will clean up those Warrior Appliques pretty fast. Yeah, down they go. And that T80BV will definitely beat this Challenger. What? I mean, these all have 1 HP. He could have brought them all back and repaired them and stuff, but now he's probably going to lose all of them. That T80BVK is going to be an interesting fight. I mean, this is so useless right now. These are probably just going to die to the BMP2. Gvozdyka not doing a whole lot there. There has been an attack here too. Because I'm surprised there are any Gazelle rockets left, to tell you the truth, but they go in the way of the Dodo. This could be moved forwards a little bit, and then it could shoot down there, I suppose, but yeah. Lathans attacking without smoke is, I think, the problem here. I think if he'd used some smoke, you know, so like when he was attacking here, if he'd smoked this off, brought his units up to here, and then he would have just been able to shoot everybody in this tree line. Then this smoke fades and you shoot everybody in this tree line. Or vice versa, you smoke this off and you just shoot everybody over here, and then you can come up here and shoot everybody around here. This'll lose. Yeah. Low cohesion versus high cohesion. You saw it first, but it couldn't shoot. Took too long to aim. So yeah, I think that's game. I don't really see how Lathans brings this back, especially... Oh, he's finally bought this, so maybe we'll see some smoke in this corner. That was a very costly attack. You needed that rapier in position, really. If this rapier had been up here, that MI-24 would have died, but... Here we go, he's doing the thing now. But I don't understand why... I mean, I don't know if he knows about this dip. Or if he just doesn't want to use it. Just needs to use the dip, bro. But yeah, this can work too. And, okay, so now he's trying to attack over here because he believes, quite rightly, that most of the T-80s have ended up over here because of this fight. There is still one here. The command. And he will have some trouble killing that. You see these guys are in denying spots as well. SAS patrol could be moved up, but you see how... So, like... Oh, I guess the smoke is actually obscuring it here. And maybe if he's got any Lynx Hell Arms left, he could put one back here. But yeah, there you go. So that's a Gvozdika doing that. That didn't used to do anything. Chieftains only have 2 top armor. But you see, it's actually a bit more effective now than it used to be. And you see how useless these tanks are. I mean, they are cheaper. In real life, of course, they're the best, but this is a video game, and it's made in a hostile country to the UK. Not sure how this guy took some damage already, but you see how these guys are where they are, so that the... Wow, they're actually running out of rocket launcher rounds. Wow. That's pretty cool to see, actually. So T8 BVK there, getting stunned. Oh wow, this guy's not having a great day. That is the CV, it's got to be protected. So yeah, he smokes some backs. He's not getting any local supply. The Hellam's not really in a position to help out. This can't shoot back. I wonder if he'll smoke it or if he'll just eat it. And he's just eating it. And yeah, there's no AT left in here except the T80 BVK, so that was a mistake from Tortique. He had a supply here, but those guys were down on RPG rounds. They had 1 between them when they should have had 8. And this is why you gotta smoke in front of the thing where you sat, instead of behind it. This is going to be a big problem for Lathans. I mean, this... I don't think Red can see this, but... Okay, if he gets into the forest in time, he won't be able to see any of it. So yeah, pretty cool attack there. This is a very high-level game. He needs to smoke. I don't know if he has it. He probably doesn't have it, because he smoked on this. And yeah, that just explodes. He might lose the Su-25 AT, but that's just always going to be worth it. Wow, it's going to survive. That's hilarious. So, that guy just gets side shot by a Milan too. I guess he wanted to bring it down here so he could start shooting this, which was a nice idea, but... yeah. T80B... Okay, so that was a Warrior Milan going down. So the gun groups, you know, their AT isn't amazing, but it's more about the fact that there's 10 million of them. So you see how he attacked from one side, and so he got it to show side armor to the other side. So Rover CV is going to try up here. Does he not know about this? Anyway, these warriors are going to lose to those tanks at close ranges because, you know, this has got 2-second aim time. Well, to be honest, this is 2 as well, but... Okay. I couldn't even see him. Well, both mediocre optics, I'm not sure what's going on there, but... He's still got Tornado HEs, apparently. But yeah, they take so long to drop, I just don't think it's a good strategy. I mean, if you're against like a bad player, they won't move in time, but you're against a good player here, and they are going to move in time. Sadly, these guys didn't get a chance to get most of their laws back, so he's attack moving them, even though they can't actually help. I suppose he just wants them to draw fire. Yeah, because it's shooting the gun groups while the Pioneer Carl Gustavs do the kill. And you see these guys are at 2 and 3 vet now, buffed up by the CV, and they've already got vet anyway, so yeah, they're probably going to get this. I mean, there's so many of them. Oh, they're out of rounds! They're out of rounds! They're out of rounds, but these guys can't shoot that chieftain. He needs to get these back right now, but I don't know. Like, it depends how risky he feels like being here. That gets that, because this can just kill all that. None of them have AT, but I don't know if he knows about it. Over here, though, Red did manage to take this stone. There's actually nobody back here. So if Tortique played a bit more offensively, because he's been playing quite defensively all game, I'll be honest. Like, he took this, and then he's just sort of been sitting there. I mean, this represents an attack. So, first UK suffering from its lack of AA. I mean, those tornadoes should be up, really. Oh, I can hear them. So he should peel left. He pressed evac and now it's messing up. Will he get that? He does. The Ligma getting him there. Might have been the super temp. Engine destroyed on the Bedford, but yeah, this is just like 2 supply tanks. I mean, I think. Oh, yeah, that was rough. There we go. He's realised he can do this, and there you go. That's game. So pretty impressive from both players actually. I thought Tortique had that as soon as he took that other zone back. I thought that was his, but I'm not sure what happened. The air spam worked. I mean, Lathans, of course, more games. Tortique has like several trillion games in Wargame Red Dragon. So there you go. There's the new vision changes. I think it still needs a bit of work, but I think overall it's an improvement. I like the map. I like the fact that there are 3 contestable zones in the middle. I thought that was very cool. 79Y never bringing out a Grad, never bringing out an Acacia. Really weird, especially on that map. Lots of opportunity for it. Just all tanks all the time. Whereas I'd say Blue needed some more tanks, really. I think he bought too many planes. They didn't do him many favours at all. Anyways, do let me know what you think. I'll see you around. GG.